Hey everyone, I'm Julia and welcome back to Crocoblock channel. In this tutorial, we will dive deep into custom post type. I will walk you through the process of creating custom post types with JetEngine, and then we will add the post in Gutenberg. If you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the bell to receive notifications so you don't miss anything. I bet lots of you who work with WordPress ever came across something that is called custom post type. What is it? How to create custom post types? Do you actually need it and why? And probably more and more questions kept popping up in your head. No worries, it's not as scary as it sounds, and I got a special mission today to make sure that you won't have any questions after watching this tutorial. Crocoblock got you covered. So, custom post type or CPT, what does it mean? First of all, post types is a term used to refer to different types of content in a WordPress website. Custom post types are content types like posts and pages. Despite the fact that WordPress is no longer just a blogging platform, we still use this post term, but a post type can be any kind of content. By default, WordPress comes with these post types: post, page, attachment, revision, and navigation menu. But what if you want to go beyond default posts and pages post types? How about adding some extra content? For a website developer, it might open up more possibilities and allow getting more complex projects. But even if you're not a professional developer, it still might broaden your mind and come in handy. For example, you have a website that is specialized in books. All the books have to be posted in the same way, with a picture, title, and description. If you want your books to be displayed in a grid, you will have to manually add all the information you have already added to the post single pages again. I guess you are familiar with posts and pages. They have a certain structure, like post has featured image, title, and description. And with the bookstore or any other store, most likely that more additional elements are needed, like additional images, author, price, or SKU number. And if you want your books to be displayed on your home or a shop page, the post won't allow you to provide the customers with price or any extra data. So this is where custom post type comes into play, as it allows to add custom meta fields. In our next tutorial, we will dive deep into custom meta fields, so stay tuned. I gotta say that probably years ago it was a real hell to add custom post types manually. Picture this. You have a project for some client and you need a certain post type that doesn't fit into posts or pages to be added to the website. What it meant back then? Well, you spent a couple of days dealing with tons of code. And if you have a team of developers or content editors, it was pain in the neck to work both with the backend and front end of a WordPress website. No more waste of time. You don't even have to have coding skills now. We at Crocoblock made an instrument that literally provides you with everything that you ever needed: JetEngine. This plugin gives you limitless possibilities and power to create as many custom post types and custom meta fields as you want. The data you place into the meta fields can be further displayed in a grid automatically without re-entering it. Besides, you can use it not only in the grids, but in any widgets that have image and text controls and allow using dynamic tags. So with the JetEngine, you simply create a CPT, then add meta fields, and after adding posts, you will have them gathered and stored in a separate tab of your website's dashboard, which is very convenient when you need to find something. So custom post type is no longer a big deal. 3 clicks and you're done. If you don't believe me, just keep watching. I'm gonna open my WordPress dashboard now and let's get to this. Before we start creating our first custom post type, let me install JetEngine plugin. As you can see, I'm gonna install just one plugin since JetEngine has more than enough options, and I think it's just perfect because you don't have to install a bunch of plugins and waste time on setting them all up. Once it's activated, a new tab will show up in the dashboard, JetEngine, with the following submenus. In our next tutorials, we will go over each submenu option, but now let's open Post Types. Here you'll see the Custom Post Types list screen where all your CPTs will be shown when you will have one. I do have one custom post type here, and it's because I'm using our dynamic template Belluranto that already comes with a pre-made CPT. But the key point here is that actually you can easily create dozens of different CPTs with different settings. So let's create a new one from scratch. I'm gonna click this Add New button and start with the general settings. Post Type Name. This is the CPT's title that will be visible in your website's dashboard. Post Type Slug. It is generated automatically from the name you previously entered, or you may type in the one that you want. The slug is a post type's ID. It creates user-friendly URLs that help readers and search engines know what your content is about. Editing slugs is useful when a post title is very long or if you are planning to update the content in the future. For example, our Best Properties 2021 is too long, so it's better to use just Best Properties. Edit Post Type Meta Box Link. This toggle creates a shortcut from every post editing page of this custom post type to the page you are now. If it is enabled, a little gear-shaped icon appears in the right top corner of the meta fields block of a post editing page. The cool thing about it is you don't need to quit the post editing page, go to JetEngine, Post Type, and search for the appropriate CPT to make some changes to the settings or meta fields. You just hit this button and it redirects you straight to Custom Post Type Editing page. Labels. As the custom post type is visible in the dashboard, its name will be used for a number of options. In the Labels block, you can choose how the CPT name will be used. For example, instead of Add New Item, you can have Add New House label. We have a very long list here, just go through the labels and change them if needed. In the Advanced Settings block, there is a set of features that are connected to the CPT displaying on the dashboard. Is public. While this toggle is enabled, the CPT is visible and accessible in the dashboard and can be seen by admins and users. Exclude from search. You can create a CPT that will be used by the admins only. In this case, you can enable this toggle and the posts of this custom post type won't be available for the front-end search tools. Publicly queryable. This toggle is connected with the Is Public one. If it is enabled, the queries of this CPT can be performed on the front end. Show Admin UI. If you disable this toggle, the tab to edit the post of custom post type will disappear from the dashboard. Show in Admin menu, Show in Navigation menu, and Show in REST API. Those three toggles allow setting the visibility of the CPT more specifically. You can decide to hide the CPT from the Admin menu, Navigation menu, or REST API. Register Query Variable. If you enable this toggle, it registers a query variable for this CPT. Rewrite. If you want to manage the posts of this CPT rewrites, disable this toggle. You can also change the rewrite slug that by default is similar to the CPT's slug and choose if to rewrite with front, which means pretending with front property. Capability type. In this field, you define what string will WordPress use to build capabilities of this CPT. Has archive. Enable this toggle if you want the CPT to have archive posts. Hierarchical. If you want to add the posts of this CPT into a website page's hierarchy, turn this toggle on. In short, it helps to group the posts. I'll show what this option does a bit later in this tutorial. Menu position. The number you type in here will be the number of position on which this CPT's tab will be shown in the dashboard. Menu icon. Each tab of the dashboard has a unique icon, and here you can choose one for your CPT's tab. Support. From this drop-down menu, you can choose the additional supporting blocks that will be shown on the CPT's Post Editor page. And here is also a meta fields block, but we will go over custom meta fields in our upcoming tutorial, so stay tuned. As we're done for now, let's click the Add the Post Type button on the right. A new custom post type should appear on the left in the dashboard. Here is my CPT Houses. Click on Add New, and since I previously changed the label, now it says Add New House. On the Post Editor page, I will set a title Unique Treehouse as it's a vacation rental website. Since you're gonna be working with Gutenberg, I'd like to go through its settings and features. As you may know, Gutenberg is the built-in WordPress editor, which became the main tool for creating pages and posts. Gutenberg replaced Classic Editor, where you could not create pages with a non-standard layout without editing HTML code. And the work with Classic Editor itself required more time and deeper coding knowledge. With Gutenberg, you no longer need to know HTML or CSS and apply a bunch of shortcodes. And it's definitely a big plus for beginners. Now you get a simplified writing process where each content item is packed in a block. You can move them around the editor, change their settings, and create attractive layouts without writing a code. Besides, considering that Gutenberg is a default WordPress editor, it works way faster and it has fewer bugs and conflicts. Now I'm gonna go back to my website and we will dive deep into Gutenberg settings. By default, there is a paragraph block that allows you to start writing right away. However, if you want to add different content, you can click on this button on the top left corner of the editor or on the right side of a block. A search bar on top and Add Block menu will be shown once you hit this Add Block button. Besides, except for the default ones in the list, you'll have JetEngine blocks after installing JetEngine plugin. In our next tutorial, we will add custom meta fields, and then I'll show you how to apply and style JetEngine blocks easily. But for now, let's add an image. Each block has its own toolbar that appears on top. The buttons in the toolbar would change depending on the block you're editing. For the image, we have Change Block Type or Style, where we can transform it into columns or gallery and make it rounded. We can also change alignment, insert a link, crop it or replace, then also add text over image, and more settings to copy, move to, group, or remove block. Apart from the toolbar, each block also has its own block settings on the right. Here we have a style again, then alternative text box, and image size. If you unfold Advanced, you'll be able to set title attribute, HTML anchor, and additional CSS classes. For the text, simply start typing. Under the block, you can change the font size or set a custom one. Then set colors and enable dropped capital. Each block can be moved easily by holding a drag button or clicking up and down buttons. What's more, when you click Add Block on the top, except for blocks that are simply like widgets in Elementor if you have it installed, you'll see that there is one more tab, Patterns, that contains pre-made blocks of different content like buttons, columns, gallery, headers, and text. You simply choose what element you need, click on it, and add it. Gutenberg has one more option that might be useful. It allows you to save a particular block and then reuse it. Click on the block you want to save, go to Options, and select Add to Reusable Blocks from the menu. You can give it a name right here, for example, Buttons. Either click on the Options button, Manage Reusable Blocks, or go to the top Add Block button, Reusable tab, where it says Manage All Reusable Blocks. It will redirect you to the page where all your reusable blocks are collected and editable. Now, each WordPress post contains a lot of metadata. This includes information like publish date, categories and tags, featured images, and more. So here we have status and visibility, permalink options, and I have more blocks here like featured image and page attributes that I previously added to the settings of my CPT. There is also an options button at the top right corner. As you noticed, we had a toolbar that appeared on top of every block. Under the view, you can enable top toolbar, so it will stick to the top and won't show up separately at the top of every block. Spotlight mode allows you to focus on one block at a time. And if you disable full screen mode, a dashboard tab will appear on the left. Under the editor, you can switch between visual and code editor. And tools have some extra options like block manager, keyboard shortcuts, copy all content, and preferences. Okay, great. As I remember, I promised to show what Hierarchical option does, so let me publish this post and quit the post editor page. Here I have just a small number of posts, but imagine if you have 200. Hierarchical option allows you to group them in a certain way. For example, there can be some main types of property: houses, villas, cabins, etc. And I can group, let's say, all villas under one post to make it easy to find a certain villa among all of them. To apply this option, choose a post, click Quick Edit, and under the parent, you can set a parent page. By the way, you can set a specific order to the child post, simply entering the appropriate number in order. The same option is available on the post editor page, and you can find it under the page attributes if you previously enabled this supporting block. And here is the final result. As you can see, Gutenberg is perfect as it allows you to create personalized layout and customize and move blocks easily. To show what is waiting for you ahead, here is a comparison of what you get when using default WordPress posts versus JetEngine custom post types. I mean, the list of additional options is breathtaking. But do not get scared that you'll be dealing with dozens of settings alone. We're here for you. And in our next tutorials, we will together, step by step, add custom meta fields, set up taxonomies, and I'll show you how to apply dynamic widgets easily. So that was it for this tutorial. We've created a custom post type and added our first post. If you want us to make more cool tutorials for you, please give us a like. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.